Welcome back to Call Glass. My name is Evan Hale. Today we have a very special guest. It's Doug Edert, March Madness legend, St. Peter's guard. Just one of the coolest stories in college sports the last 5 years. Now we got him on the show, so welcome, Doug.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So happy to have you, man. So you're out of is it Oradell? How do you say what New Jersey? That's where I know that's where your high school was at.
Oradell is where Bergen Catholic is. That's where I went to high school. I'm originally from Nutley, New Jersey, though.
Gotcha. What was the start of your basketball story? Like, were you like a Nets fan in New Jersey? Who was your team? What got you in like loving basketball?
Yeah, so actually growing up, I was really a baseball player.
Mm.
And then I got into basketball a little bit. And then now I played a bunch of sports when I was younger, but basketball and baseball were my main sports. But growing up, all I can remember is me like outside in my street. I had a hoop that was on the sidewalk, and I kind of lived on a side street. So I was out there all the time it was just me, and then it was me and my dad, me and my brother. It was just like I was just out there all the time, just shooting. And I just loved it. I got super addicted to it. I just loved it. And then I was always a Knicks fan. I was always a New York Knicks fan. My dad's from New York, so I knew the Nets were in New Jersey, but I kind of just followed in his footsteps with the Knicks.
That's why I mentioned the Knicks, because they have a larger stranglehold on that region, you know. So
yeah.
There's a reason the Nets are no longer in New Jersey.
Right. Absolutely.
But you said Bergen Catholic High School. You averaged at 14.7 points per game, and you hit like 3.5 threes a night. So I mean, you're shooting constantly. That's like your thing. You didn't have any stars out of high school, and I couldn't find any offers. Usually, like you go through a guy's page, it's like he had like 4 offers.
Yep.
Did you have any other offers other than St. Peter's, or was it just St. Peter's?
Yeah, no, I ended up having 4 offers out of high school. I had one at FDU, the University of New Hampshire, Wagner, and St. Peter's.
Gotcha.
So out of those 4, those were I got those all leading up into my senior year. So I would say the summer of junior year is kind of where I like stopped getting offers, and I had those 4. And my goal was to commit to a school before my senior year started. Just because I didn't want to have to play my senior year of basketball thinking about, where am I going to college, all these different things. I just wanted to play basketball freely, basically.
Yeah.
And then so out of those 4 schools, I ended up choosing St. Peter's, mainly because of the coaching staff. Like Shaheen Holloway and his coaching staff, they did a great job recruiting me. Our visions kind of aligned, and a lot of it was just talking about winning. And then going further than that, I would have probably had more offers after during my senior year, because I had a really good senior year. Just based on how I was playing. And I always think about what if I didn't commit so early? Like, what would have happened? Like, what would I got? But the thing with that is, like, would I have played that freely and that well if I didn't know where I was going to college? Like, probably not. So I was very happy with that decision.
Yeah, I know you had a teammate, Zach Freemantle, end up going to Xavier's. I know he got some looks too. So I know there were recruits in the building. Like,
he had a ton of offers.
Yeah, I was looking through the game log. He had like a 36-point game to end the year. I'm like, man, this guy's got a bucket too.
He's a great basketball player.
Then I know you were getting looks there. And then you mentioned Coach Holloway. I know he got hired there like the summer before your senior year. So I imagine you were part of that first recruiting class for him. He said he just pitched about winning. Like, that was what he was saying. We're gonna win games.
Yeah. So he got there, and my class was his first recruiting class, and he had me and him, we talked about winning all the time, because he was a winner as a player. Obviously at Seton Hall.
Yeah.
And then all I care about is winning. That's just like how I'm just wired. I just want to win. I hate to lose. I probably hate to lose more than I like to win.
Yeah.
But so all we talked about was really winning, and I could help with the scoring aspect of going there. And then it was right from the time he started recruiting me, it felt right, you know. And then also it was 15-20 minutes away from my house, so it was very local. And then that allows my family to come to the games and stuff. So it kind of it was I think the perfect decision, the perfect place for it.
Yeah, there's 24 miles from your high school. I guess that's kind of pretty awesome. You're that close to where you went to school.
Yep.
So what you already had an impression on the St. Peter's program growing up so close there. Like, did you go to games growing up, or was it just one of those things like they were there, but you didn't really go to games? Now you're just now I'm going to school there.
Yeah, no, that I knew it was there. I never went to games though. It was just there, and then that was it. I knew it was like very local, so
Yeah.
no.
And you said you like to win. You said like the score, and I mean you did. Your freshman year, you had averaged 7.8 points per game off the bench in just 17 minutes. You shot 45% from three. That's a ridiculous clip to see. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm a freshman in college, and I'm gonna shoot like Steph Curry. Like what was it like going from high school to college, and then performing so well from like at least like a shooting split perspective?
Yeah, that's a phenomenal question. I could talk about this for so long. I think it's like a huge thing for like college or high school basketball players getting into college is like there's like a learning curve. And I've had like previous coaches that I've had and like mentors, whatever, they've kept telling me about like different learning curves that you have throughout your career. And like going to high school to college is one of them. And it got to the point where in this summer, like summer sessions of me going to St. Peter's for the first time, I'm like, so like not like either I'm getting thrown into the fire, like playing with these older guys, more athletic, quicker. The game is just faster and everything. And then so all this is going on, and it gets to a point where like I can't even get a shot off. Like this, my older teammate, who was I think a junior at the time, was blocking every jump shot that I shot. Like when I thought I was wide open, I'm like, oh my god, here we go, wide open, my time to shine. Bang, block. I'm like, are we serious? So like I'm like calling my dad, like, yo, like I don't know if I could do this. Like I'm getting my shot blocked every time. I can't get a shot off. I can't do anything. But I just stuck with it, started getting quicker, stronger in the weight room. Just stayed with it in my mind, like mentally. And then obviously I have an all-time confidence coming off of a good senior year. And I'm a freshman in college. I don't really know college basketball, like playing in it. So I'm just out there just doing what I do, just like hooping, just playing as hard as I can, trying to win. I was told to come to the school to shoot the basketball, so that's kind of what I did. And then something that also helps with that, and I know it shouldn't really affect people, like you should have like your own self-confidence. The Coach Holloway always referred to me as the best shooter in the country, the best shooter in the country, the best shooter in the conference. And I'm like looking at him like, yeah, you think so? Like
Percentage wise, you were up there, both
yeah,
shooting,
I think
like, jump shooting and free throw shooting.
A couple. I forgot what it was. It was like towards the end of non-conference play. I was number 1 in the country in 3-point percentage, which is pretty cool to look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ended up at 45 or something. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I couldn't imagine looking at that myself because like I live in Conway, South Carolina, so right by Coastal Carolina University. We had 2 years ago, we had a guy who similar thing, led the country just on a team that I cheer for. And I'm like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. I couldn't imagine if it was me. Like I was hyped about it. Just some guy I don't even know. Like just my team I like if that was me, you couldn't tell me anything.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah, so you mean you have a really good freshman year. But that was the COVID year. So you guys were rolling. I mean, you started off hot. You were winning. You had won like I want to say what you won. You won a 12-year Final 14 games. And you guys are rolling, and the world shuts down. You guys are second in the conference, like, and you were second in the conference, having a bad start to the conference. Like, it kind of looked kind of similar to the 2022 year, where you guys started off a little slow, and then took off. What was that like? To like, how do you use those experiences from that season that got cut short, like later on in the career? Did the mindset say the same afterwards? Like, did you feel the same kind of energy?
Yeah. So, no, it's a great question. And it did happen. So like we were in the conference tournament my freshman year, and that's when all these like conferences were getting shut down. All the games were getting shut down. The MAC was the last conference to like shut it down.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We thought we were going to play it out. But honestly, I truly believe that we are winning that tournament. Like we are winning the MAC conference tournament if we continue to play those games, just because of how hot we were. Like just because the flow, the teams that we were going to play that were like really good, but we liked our matchups with them.
Mm-hmm.
But we were hot at the time. So I really do think we would have had a good chance to win it. And then obviously the world like shutting down, it kind of stopped it. But you have like this core group of like me and the guys that were in my class, like Darryl Banks, Matt Lee, the Drame twins. we're playing together. And then Casey Nadefo
Mhm.
was a year older than us, but like we still consider him in our class. But it
Yeah.
was like that core group. We stayed together from like freshman year. We stayed together, work it out sophomore year, stay together, work it out for junior year. And like by that time, our chemistry with each other has evolved to a great level. And obviously
Yeah.
our interactions with our coach. So it's like you keep the same guys together for a little bit, and now you have some chemistry, you have some past experiences,
Mhm.
adversity that you guys handle together. So I think a
Yeah.
lot of that plays a major role in our success.
Yeah, I had a question about that later, actually. Do you think that was like y'all's superpower? Is you were his first recruiting class? You were all together the whole time. Like, was that your guys' like superpower on the whole run?
Absolutely. I really do think that was a main part of it. And you don't really see that now because of the transfer portal.
Hmm.
So you don't see like the same group of guys staying together
Hmm.
throughout multiple years. And but I do think that us staying together from like freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, 3 years of just playing together consistently under the same coaching staff for the most part, it's just it gives you kind of that advantage. Like you know each other. Like you become brothers
Hmm.
off the court, and then it just turns to like how you play on the court. It's like it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So your sophomore year, I imagine there were like a lot of expectations, but you deal with turf toe the whole year. I mean, all of your numbers dip. You don't play as many minutes, and you can see like
Yeah.
I was trying to watch some games. It's really hard to find Mac game from a couple of years ago
Yeah.
online, but
Yep.
I was watching some of the games like, oh, you just weren't as explosive, and you know what is dealing with that kind of adversity and like being headstrong. Like, how does that affect you? And like becoming even more confident and more headstrong later on.
Yeah.
And also, do you think that should rename the injury turf toe? Because that's like the softest injury name ever for how bad it is.
Yeah. I don't really think it was turf toe. It got out there that it said it was turf toe, but it was really something to do with my sesamoid bone. It's like the bone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Toe. Whatever, turf toe. Everyone could call it whatever they want. It was it was pretty painful. I'm not gonna lie. I consider myself having a pretty high pain tolerance. It got to like the point where in practices, like before, I got like a burning and like an extreme pain like sensation on the side of my big toe,
Uh-huh.
and it got to the point where like I was stomping my foot down before practice, like as I'm warming up to like kind of
Ooh.
like numb it up a little bit before I played. But whatever, it's not. There's no excuse to anything. I had a bad year. I did compared to like what I guess what I thought my potential was at the time. I could have did a lot better. And then I rolled my ankle a couple times, and that was like lingering. So it was just a tough year for the right lower body. But
Yeah.
it was it's good though to go through things like that and to kind of overcome those kind of small levels of adversity. It could have been a lot worse. Like anything could happen. Obviously, injury wise. So it being like something with my toe a little bit and like a couple of rolled ankles here and there, it wasn't as bad looking at it now. Where it could have been like, at least I was still playing. I was out
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah, you played the least amount of games in your career, least amount of minutes in your career. Like
yep,
you're a tough guy until you're a competitor, but you could tell it affected you too. Like
yeah, it did.
you got to give yourself a little bit more credit there. Maybe you were hurt. You were playing through an injury.
Yeah,
It's hard, especially as the energy guy off the bench who's a
yeah,
shooter. Like
yeah, yeah.
when your energy guy loses a step, like it's okay to be like, yeah, I was hurt.
Yeah, very, very frustrating, and
Oh, for sure.
definitely affected, challenged my mind a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can only imagine. But then we go into your junior year because you guys, that's probably the worst St. Peter's overall year that you were there. Just in the, like total wins and everything. You guys didn't do very good in the conference tournament. And then you come back your junior year. You said it's all the guys together, and what would end up being like that final ride, as a core together. And like the legend of Doug Edert is formed this season. You guys start off 3-6 though. Like it did look like a good start, but you guys also did play like St. John's and Providence. Like I know you guys had some tough games scheduled to kind of get that punch in the mouth early.
Yep.
Um, and you guys end up you're 3-6 and you lose that last game on December 22nd, and then you have like 4 or 5 games canceled in a row. And you guys
Yeah.
don't play again until January 14th.
Do you know who we lost to on that?
It was a conference game. I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Okay. So, it's funny because during that time, like, we got off to a bad start that season. We actually lost to St. Francis, And they were 0-9 at the time.
No way. I didn't
And
see that.
we were in a slump, and we're like at home too. And we're all like looking around like the night before, like watching film and stuff, and like walking back, we're looking around like, nah, like we're not losing to 0-9. And then we gave them their first win, and then after that, it was like, yo, what are we doing? And then what happened? We missed those 4 or 5 games in a row. All of us got or most of us got COVID. So we all got sent home. So I think it was honestly, I think it was a turning point of our season right there, because everyone was able to just go home. We separated from each other a little bit,
Reset a little bit.
Reset. You don't understand how much you miss playing basketball with each other until it gets taken away from you. So it gets taken away, and we're all like at our house, like, man, like we got to get back on the court, like.
Yeah,
and then,
y'all missed 3 weeks of playing together. I was gonna say, if there was anything like in my mind, you guys got together like, hey, like games got canceled because of COVID, but not for you guys. In my mind, I'm like, oh, they got together, they hung out, and they talked it through. No, you guys got separated. It was like, I miss my brothers. I want to play with my brother. So you guys came back, and then you guys ran off 16 of your last 21, including all the conference tournament games. I mean, you guys just took over. You took over the conference. I mean, you guys had like 3 conference losses the whole year, and one of them was that that game you lost at the end of the season, and the little slump you guys were on.
Yep.
You guys handle business in the MAC tournament. It's funny. I'm a big college football guy, so I like the MAC, like the Mid American Conference. So like saying MAC throws me off a little bit. I'm like, it's just extra A in there.
Extra A.
But I mean, you end up in the championship game. You hit that clutch 3 late to kind of like the dagger 3, which became like kind of iconic for you for this run. What was it like, winning that championship and then like realizing, hey, we're going to the dance? Like, what were the emotions, the initial emotions?
Yeah, it was really crazy, and that whole conference tournament was insane. But really in the championship game, us and Monmouth were like very like equal in skill level, I think, and we've kind of developed that kind of rivalry over the years between us and Monmouth. But they were a great team, and the score of the game, I don't know if it got past like a 6-point lead or a 6-point deficit. It was just a battle, like a ton of fouls. The physicality levels were all the way up, and playing in that game was like a super competitive, like a lot of emotions throughout the whole game. And no, I felt like I had a pretty good role in our team's success, but a lot of it was because of people finding me in open spots, teammates setting really, really good screens to get me open. So I feel like a lot of times people kind of get distracted by the box score. So, this guy had this many points, like he did it, but that's not how it is. Like my coaches believing in me enough to call play for me down in certain points of the game. That plays a role into it. Obviously, like I said, teammates finding you, teammates screening for you, keeping you up if you're missing a little bit. But in terms of that last play, they ended up blitzing a ball screen late, and then it kind of left a 2-on-1 advantage on the weak side. And I think it was Darryl who kind of split it and kind of passed it out to me for a wide open catch and shoot in rhythm 3 from the wing. And it felt like everything just felt so good, like as I was catching and shooting. And like it's crazy, like I don't know why, but I'm able to like kind of go back to those moments and just see it from like how I saw it in the exact time. That's which awesome. Is a great thing to have, just so because I like, it's like nice to kind of relive those moments a little bit. But it was a great play. It was kind of a broken down play, but it ended up working out for our advantage. And then after the game, obviously you're celebrating with, again, those guys you've been with freshman year, and then obviously the newcomers that came in that year. We developed a connection very quickly, but just your team just doing it, like that was us, like doing it, just like winning it, and like there's like tears, there's like excitement, people are like super happy for each other. It's just is one of the craziest moments that you can and that feelings that you can have, actually.
Yeah, and I watched an interview with you after, because you guys pulled the 2-seed Kentucky, and you were talking about, you guys were just excited to go, and your coach locked you guys back in, like, hey, we're gonna go win.
Yeah.
And it's you guys end up playing the Naismith Player of the Year and Oscar Sheboy. You know, you guys are pulling a Kentucky team who's going to play in Indianapolis. It's a 3-hour drive from the campus. Like it's a home environment for Kentucky fans because they're crazy anyways. They would drive to like New Orleans if it was there, but you know, it's like that's basically a home game for them. What was that like pulling them, and then the snap, the reality, like, how we're gonna go compete?
Yeah. Yeah, no, so we once we found we were playing Kentucky, like you said, our coach kind of brought us in and told us that we are like, this isn't just a trip to go and like we're going to win. Like we're trying to win. We've been doing it all year. It's like we're going out, it's a business trip. And once that happened, our kind of mindset switched as a team, like we can go beat them. That week of practice, I would say, was the toughest week of practice just because of the competitiveness, the physicality, because like we're at the point, and we were at the point for a while now. It's like if you lose, you're done. Like you're not playing together anymore. That this same exact team, it will not be a thing next year just because of people graduating. You know, like a couple of people might leave. So it's like we're trying to play like just to keep this going because it's just we're having so much fun. But yeah, no, like you said, when it was a home game for them, it was a home game for them. We had our little navy blue peacock section of like just our parents and stuff. Like
It was
like the
awesome watching
smallest,
that section though.
yeah, the smallest little part right across from our bench, and then everything else in the stadium was just that Kentucky blue, and then we're just like looking around like this is a crazy environment.
You know, it was cool going back and watching the game again because I haven't watched the games, at least the full game since 2022 when it happened. Like the crowd was crazy, but you guys had them quiet. I mean, it was very much paralleled the Monmouth game a little bit. You're talking about you don't think there was a 6-point lead. The biggest lead in the game for the Kentucky game was 6 points by Kentucky. That's the biggest lead of the whole game until like the end. I think did you guys won by 7? I think something like that.
Yeah, we run something around there, but I think they went up 6 in overtime too.
Yeah, and you guys you end up being down 4 points with 2:18 left. But I mean, you weren't faced at all. Like you scored the final 5 points in regulation for you guys. Have you always kind of had like you? I can just tell from talking to you, like you're a competitor, like you have that killer instinct. Have you always had that killer instinct, that like Mamba mentality that people talk about, or did you acquire it from just like working hard constantly? Like were you confident in your game, or have you always been a confident human being?
Yeah, so I think that's a really good question. I can go in like a ton of different ways to talk about it, and I'm not really sure where it came from, but a lot of it comes from the previous coaches that I've had. So like one of my coaches growing up is my best friend's dad, and he was a Division One basketball player, and like he just from a young age he just I guess forced like the toughness part of it and like how tough you have to be to just be successful or anything, but like in sports and especially basketball, like the toughness of like mental toughness and just physical toughness. That kind of started it. And then over time I just realized that I'm a little crazy. So I just kind of just went all out with it. And that's kind of where you kind of get that confidence and that toughness. It kind of goes hand in hand. And then obviously there's times throughout your career and stuff where you lose confidence, you gain confidence, even across the season. Like your confidence is all the way up because you played good, and then your confidence is all the way down because you didn't play good. But you always try to stay in that like middle level where it's like you have a great game. Okay, I'm a little like sure. Oh, I had a horrible game. It's all right. It's fine. Like you kind of stay in that middle line.
Keep the blinders on. Just
blind. Yeah, exactly. And it's not easy to do. It's really difficult to do, especially now with social media and everything. Everything's just out there. So, but it is good. So, having those, and obviously the hard work that I've put into my craft, it kind of like I guess fulfill itself in those moments. You just never know when all the hard work is going to pay off, and I've shot those shots a lot of times. So, and obviously, I'm not even thinking. The crazy thing is, you mentioned the last 5 points of regulation. I hit the 3, and then I think we ended up getting a stop. And then that floater
was nuts. You hit another one the next game too. Like, were you a floater guy, or
big time floater guy? Big time.
I love that.
Love it.
You could tell the confidence you're going after, and you're going into. You're not just shooting a floater. You're shooting a floater over the guy who just won the Heisman of college basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
As a center
Yeah.
who's like, getting,
Yeah.
you guys are playing, a couple NBA guys on that roster. I
Yeah.
mean, Oscar Cheeseman and Tata Washington didn't necessarily pan out how people expected them to, but they were hyped coming out of there, and
No, yeah, definitely. So like we shoot that shooting that floater is like it's so funny because everyone's like, oh, it's a great shot and stuff. And to be honest, we were in a zone late in that game.
Yeah. You guys
And
switched about like 2.5 minutes left in the game.
yeah, we switched it up from man to man to a zone, which kind of stood Kentucky up. And once I made the float, I knew we had to shoot quick because we were losing and time was running out. So I shot the floater and went in. And then I hear our bench and our team like echoing a call, like saying that we're going to be a man to man. And I'm like, why are we doing that? The zone's working perfect. And I'm looking, the shot clock's off. So it's like they're going to hold for one shot. I didn't know the score. So I looked at the score. It's like a tie game. And I'm like, the shot clock is off. I'm like, like we're at man to man. Like we can't let our man score. Like I'm not letting my guys score. Obviously, I'm going to try to be in the right help position, but I'm not letting my guys score. And then we had to thug it out man to man. And they gave it to my matchup, and he shot a mid-range over me, but ended up missing it.
Yeah.
But
dude, in 2026, that might get called a foul too. You
were
pretty
physical. It could have went either way. I was close to him, but
your hands were up. He jumped into you. So, but I mean, like, I can see. Hey, that's Shea. They're blowing the whistle.
Oh yeah, yeah. But as a referee, you can't call that in a game like that.
No, you can't.
Just like having a feel for it. No way.
No way. And then you guys go into overtime, and they take a lead early, but then they can't make. They will go 1 for 7 from free throw in overtime, which is crazy. Like I think you can't. There are some things about sports that I've learned just as somebody who watches sports. You can only do what you can do and then hope that luck falls your way as well. And sometimes the free throws clanking is luck falling your way. And you guys were clutch. I mean, you hit a couple clutch free throws. You scored 20 points that game, and 12 of them were I think it was from like 5.5 minutes left in the game on, which is just crazy. And that is how your whole run went. You scored over half your points with like less than like 5 minutes left in the games, which is just so cool. You hit those clutch free throws late, get a couple of tough rebounds. I mean, you're getting up there on some guys who are like 6'10", just grabbing rebounds. Yeah. And then the buzzer sounds, and you guys won. Like, what are those initial emotions? I know that Coach Holloway was like calling you guys back immediately to the huddle, like after the sometimes you see guys like celebrate at center court. Later you jump on the media.
That was in the Sweet 16. That was later.
But later you do that. What is that initial reaction like? The first game, like, oh, we just beat the 2 seed. Like, what are the feelings?
Yeah, that was crazy. Really, a lot of people say like after we won the conference that we were just playing with house money, basically meaning like we're supposed to lose by 40. Like we're supposed to get blown out by Kentucky. So like we just go out and play basketball normally, like just kind of we're just playing, doing what we've been doing all year. And there's no like you're supposed to do this. You're supposed there's no expectations. So after winning that, it's like the level of I guess excitement that runs through like your whole team of like realizing what you just did. And we didn't even realize what we just did to the extent that what we did it. Like we were just so excited, like just to not so much like, yes, we beat Kentucky and it was like a great game, but just to continue this going, like just to be able to go into practice the next day and have a game the day after with the same team, with the same coach and stuff. So I think that's a lot of it. But the excitement was we ran over to where our small little section was, where our parents were and our friends and stuff. And we're like screaming to them from the court. And it was a pretty quiet place at the time because all the Kentucky fans were going home. But it was a great feeling.
That's gonna be awesome. They cut to no less than 4 small children, Kentucky kids, crying.
Oh yeah,
it was like you celebrating crying kid.
Crying kid.
You guys celebrating a different crying kid.
Yep, it's sports. Yep.
And it's so fun to like watch those games back because you have such a swagger to you. Every shot you made, every play you made, afterwards you just. I mean, the iconic moments for you now when you see it is like you just celebrating and it wasn't like you guys were still down when you hit that 3 and you were celebrating afterwards. Like you were the confidence you guys had. It just was awesome. I think that
Absolutely.
probably plays into your whole like that like the confidence and like that killer instinct. I think those all play hand in hand, like that swagger you have
Yeah.
to do that. So you guys stay in Indy, St. Kentucky Packing, and you play Murray State the next game, and you guys they didn't lead the whole game. Like you guys, it was a close game late, but you guys never, faltered. You pulled ahead, and they kind of fight back. And you pull ahead, they kind of fight back. Again, you had 7 points in the last 4 minutes of your 13. Um, Finished the game clutch, and then you guys win, and you guys are going to the Sweet 16, but you get to go back to Jersey City for a little bit before that. What
Yep.
is it like going back before the Purdue game, going back home? What was the vibes like in Jersey City? What were the vibes like, around campus? Like, what was that like?
Oh, it was nuts. It was nuts. Beating Murray State. They were a great team. They were a really good
Yeah.
team. Obviously, like, their record was crazy. They had, I think, the player of the year for their conference. They were a great team. But after beating them, going back home was insane. Like, you have like a week to prepare for the next like weekend, and then so it was good for that too. But just the environment, like Jersey City was going nuts. Like, just the entire city was like super excited. Like, just like it gave I think really just people something to root for after obviously all the issues with COVID, because this was kind of when COVID was dying out a little bit. I feel like people were just inside all the time, like not really doing it. Like this, our run kind of gave people something to look forward to, like go out to hang out with each other, to go watch something. Like, I think that was it. I guess in that aspect, maybe not, but I think so. And then we had a lot of media. A lot of media was around. They came to our practices and stuff, and interviews all over the place. People taking pictures with us, doing a ton of stuff in that regard. But it was like super exciting, like super exciting, and it was just like how much people cared and like were behind us and supporting us and rooting for us was just it was tremendous.
It was. I mean, as a fan of just basketball, it was. I was cheering for you guys, rooting for you guys. It's just a dude living in South Carolina. Like I can only imagine. Like you've been a fan your whole life of St. Peter's. Who I would say they're like watching back the broadcast. They were talking about like the best thing they ever did was like go to the quarterfinals of the NIT. Like there's not a lot of like prestige in the history of St. Peter's in like a postseason aspect.
Yep.
So I mean, I can only imagine what that was like. And then you guys go and you face Purdue in the Sweet 16. And I mean, Jay Ivey, he was a baller all year. You guys played Zach Edey. He won the next 2 Naismith Players of the Year.
Yeah.
And Jay Ivey went 5 in the draft after this game. Like you guys beat him, and then he goes and a couple months later he's going number 5 to the Pistons.
Yep.
Like was that you hold those guys at 20 points total, which is crazy. Like looking back, I looked at the box score, and I mean I watched the game as well, but I'm shocked they scored so little. Like, you guys' physicality was genuinely so impressive. Like you just guys played so hard. You talked about like being with all these guys for so long. Was it just like playing for your brothers? Was that like really what it was? Just I'm gonna whatever happens. I'm gonna go put my body on the line and play as hard as I can and just compete for my brothers. Like was that how you're able to compete?
Yeah, that was kind of it, but the main reason was the way our coach had his expectations for practice.
Mm-hmm.
Our practices were so much harder than the games all year. And that was what Coach Shaw would always tell us, is like the practices are supposed to be harder than the games.
Mm-hmm.
These practices were bloodbaths. Like people ripping shirts and being super physical, hitting on box outs, hitting on screens, holding on screens, fouling. Coaches aren't really calling fouls that much, so you could just tell. And obviously, you could put a bunch of competitors on the same court with very few foul calls, physicality being emphasized. Like every day is a war,
Mm-hmm.
and we knew it before. Like we go get lunch before practice as a team. Like like today's gonna be crazy. Like you could just tell the vibe of the coaching staff. Like it's like nothing's personal. Like we're just gonna go play hard as we can against each other. And then like after, everybody's got like ice on them. Everybody's in the training room. We're all going back to get dinner, and it's just like we just beat each other up bad today. We're doing the same thing tomorrow. So
That's awesome.
that's kind of the culture and the habits that we built in practice, was that kind of physicality and being able to do it to your brother and stuff. Now when all you guys are on the same team going against other guys, it's like you got no choice but to play as like hard and as physical as you possibly can.
So they, I mean, I can only imagine, like, that sounds crazy. Like, that just sounds, you're going to war every day,
Yep.
coming back just bloodied and bruised and just ready to. That's cool. You can see that in the way you guys played basketball.
Yep.
Like, having that context now, like watching the games, you can see exactly that, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
You guys, it's a close game again, because why wouldn't it be? Every game's a close game with you guys at the end of the season. You guys have to hit some clutch shots late, you especially. They hit a three, you guys go down, and then you hit some free throws, and it's a 3-point game. Ivy's bringing the ball up the court, like 4 seconds left. He puts that shot up. What are those feelings? What do you? Because that ball, it looked like it was going on the broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah. So after making those free throws, backing up a little bit, like being at the line in those situations, I thought it was funny. I think the camera got a little bit, but I've been in like those situations a lot in my career. Maybe not to that extent.
Yeah.
The pressure moment of a Sweet 16 game, like basically the whole country's watching. I'm at the line like smiling and laughing because it's like people take the pressure and like it affects them so much where it's like they like start to get nervous and stuff. But when you have like, again, like that kind of self-confidence and the confidence in your work and your ability to be in those moments, like there's no reason why you shouldn't just like loosen up and just like smile and have fun with it.
Yeah.
So that was like a huge thing. Just hit for my like I don't know. That's just the way I see things. That if you put the work in, like there's no reason why you should like fold under pressure, because I think pressure is like fake, basically. So making those free throws to put us up only 3, they come out. We talked about it. I don't know, like we decided to not foul up 3. Like,
yeah, they missed it on the broadcast. Like coach said, he didn't want to foul up 3.
We didn't like to do it. So obviously we saw Jaden Ivey get the ball. He's like kind of going. I think there's like 5 seconds left or something. So and they needed a 3, so we knew that. And I think one of our Drame twins picked the ball like a little behind the volleyball line. He shot it from there, and the way that it looked, it was like a nice high arcing shot. It was like straight. I'm like, oh my goodness, like don't go in, like don't do it to us. And then once seeing that ball fall at the rim, the like relief of like, oh my god, like it didn't go in, like, and then like right again back to the excitement of that level where it's like we're still going, like we're still doing it. And that was the one where it's like now we made history knowing like we're the only 15 seed to make it to the Elite 8. Like we were the first ever. So like doing something like that in a game like that again, where it's like a super close game, obviously with doing it with your brothers, it's just like the feeling is unreal. And then obviously getting into like standing on the score thing, I saw people that were sitting there looking at me, they just looking at this stuff. Like I'm like, all right, I'll move everything and stand on it if you want me to. So but yeah, just like that, just stuff like that, you just kind of black out in moments like that just because of all the emotions and stuff and how excited you are after accomplishing something like that.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine. I mean, this is the real thing that I do. This is for years now. I've done it. Like you send like gifts online, like you texting like your friend or something. When I celebrate, sometimes I'll send the gif of you on the scorer's table. Like I've done that before, which is just so funny. Like I'll send like Kobe or the D Wade one too. Like, you had joined my cycle of things I've texted people. Like I'm a Hornets fan. Like I got the hat on.
Yep.
We don't win a lot of games. Sometimes I'll text this thing and like that meme, like that like that gif of you like on the score table. So, I can only imagine. And then you guys go back to the locker room. Like, what are the conversations? You guys beat Purdue. I would, in a weird way, like Kentucky is one of those teams that they can be overseeded and like they get beat sometimes. Like that Purdue when I was watching, I'm like, oh, this team might go all the way. Like just watching from a fan perspective.
Yeah.
What were the conversations like at that point? You guys probably had to think nobody could beat you.
Yeah, no, so right after we beat Kentucky, we were like nobody could beat us because Kentucky was one of the best teams in the country and they were picked to win by a lot of people. So it's like if we just beat them, you do the math correctly,
Yeah.
like we're right there. So we no, but after that we thought that we could beat anybody, we could play anybody. And it's March Madness, so you never know what could happen. And after winning that Purdue game, then it's really like we're almost there. Like we're a couple games away. So those conversations were like really like everyone was just so excited for each other, and it's just like the amount of joy you see in your teammates celebrating, and obviously coaches and stuff, and just as like one team is just like it's special.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Before we get in the UNC game, I did want to ask you a question I thought about while we're just talking about like pushing the practices.
Yeah,
You shot a lot of free throws in that run. Do you
right.
think those practices is like being so physical? Like you just, I'm not afraid of contact. I'm going to go up and I'm going to get hit. Whatever happens, happens. Do you think that was like that changed your mindset and you play, and that's how you got like so many foul calls?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think the physicality of our practices helped with a lot of things. I think it helped build us the tolerance and the endurance to play in a physical game like that for a very long time, where other teams may not practice that hard for that long. Like we were going all out for 3 hours, two 2 hours 45 minutes, whatever you want to call it. It was like it was again like war every day. So I think that those practices kind of help you build that kind of endurance and really like the physical endurance of being able to handle that kind of physicality and a game like that, but also like mentally too. Like we've developed mental toughness through that. Like everybody's exhausted, everybody's tired, everybody's beating each other up. And it's like you still have to execute the fundamentals to coaches' expectations, coaches' standard, which is like borderline perfection. So it's like doing a whole season with that. It's just that's at the level of where we had to operate. And then obviously with the free throw shoot, we shot a ton of free throws in practice, just like as teams and stuff. But again, that just comes down to pure confidence and routine.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then you guys run into that UNC team, and that team, you look at that roster. That roster is deep. They have, you know,
Pretty good team.
I mean, you got guys coming off the bench who are playing the NBA. You know, like,
Yep.
you know that team was deep. They had some iconic guys. Armando Bacot,
Yep.
Brady Manek. You got Leaky Black, RJ Davis, Caleb Love. I mean, all those guys like either played professionally or had iconic moments. They ended up going to the championship. You know, the season ends. The game, you guys had like it was kind of back and forth early, and then they kind of pulled ahead late, and it ended up not being a very close game. What was what were the feelings after that? Was it all sad or was it bittersweet? Like we made it this far. Like what were the feelings?
Yeah, no, it's terrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
There was no not one person, in my opinion, just being there felt like satisfied or content with what we did at the time. Everybody was super, super upset and a little frustrated. Um, I know I was like really upset in the locker room just because I just didn't think that that's how we were supposed to go out in a way like that. And then obviously that being the last time we're playing with each other on the same team. But after like you give it some time, and it was probably for me about like I would say 2-ish weeks, something like that. Good time where it's like you're like, okay, like I guess what we did do was pretty cool. What we did do was good. I mean, you're looking at it, we're just a team in Jersey City that not a school that nobody really knew about, and it's like, oh, we lost to UNC, like,
Yeah.
and they're ever thinking that that's like a shock. It's like not we were supposed to lose to Kentucky. We were supposed to lose the next round. We were supposed to, but after all that, it's like we kind of realized that what we did was special, and it is what it is.
I mean, UNC lost by 3 points in the championship game. Like it was, they went all the way, and there were some plays that they probably should have won that game.
Yeah.
I can only imagine like all the range of emotions you felt after that. And then right after that, Coach Holloway he gets a job at his alma mater at Seton Hall. I mean, I imagine that run really helped him put his hat in the ring. He had his March Madness run. He had a game winner against I think Oregon when he was there. Um, was that the biggest reason why you left into the portal that year, or what? Like him leaving, you were like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. So once he got that coaching job, we were all happy for him
Yeah, of
because
course.
that's his dream job. He went to Seton Hall. He wanted to coach there. Like you just tell, and it's good for him. There was no like, oh, you're leaving us. Why you do? It wasn't like that at all. We were very, very happy for him. And then once he left, we didn't know if we were going to be able to be as good together without him. So a lot of us me and my teammates kind of decided like, yeah, I think it might be best if we kind of just all go in our own different directions and just try to go and go on our own journey. And then most of us, not all of us, but most of us ended up hitting the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm. And then what were your offers like? You ended up in Bryant. I
Yep.
mean, I imagine you were getting some looks just in general because you were, you had a clutch gene to you, a thing about you. Like, where were the places you were looking, getting looks from, and why did you pick Bryant?
Yeah, there's a couple schools that have reached out. I wasn't in the transfer portal very long. And I planned on having it be that way because I didn't want to. There's too many stories of people staying in the transfer portal and then like spots just get filled and it's like now they're what do they do now? But I had a couple schools reach out to me, like Richmond was one of them, Fordham, UCSB, a couple others, and Brian was the first one to reach out. As soon as it got announced I was in the transfer portal, like their head coach and like 3 assistants all texted me. They called me right away. So it's like you get that initial like, wow, like they really want me to go there. So we kind of like got on the phone. That kind of like recruitment compared to how everybody else was recruiting me, it kind of just like surpassed everything. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. They wanted you bad. They did everything they could get you.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to be a banana slug, anyways, right?
Yeah.
It'll be a bulldog. And plus, I imagine it being, Rhode Island relatively isn't as far away as some of the other schools you were getting offers from. So
Yeah.
the
Right.
the closeness helps a lot. You play there for your senior year and in your COVID year. You don't ever make it back to the tournament. You still have some fun highlights, still have some fun games. I went back and tried to watch some, a couple of your high scoring games. I mean, you had like a 30 piece your first year there or
Yeah.
something like that. It was a high scoring game. And then you graduate. Now you're back and you're coaching at your alma mater.
Yep.
Uh, did Google tell me right? Are you the JV head coach and an assistant for the varsity?
Yeah. Yep. So I'm a JV head coach for last year and this year, and then I was an assistant for the varsity team last year and this year.
That's awesome. And what's that like? Like getting back there? I mean, I imagine I was scrolling. So honestly, I was scrolling through the Wikipedia page for like notable graduates. A lot of people went there. A lot of athletes went there. Like, but I
Yeah.
imagine you have a lot of pull and a lot of notoriety in the last couple of years. So was that extra cool coming back and having that?
Oh yeah, it's been great. It's been really good. Seeing like the president, the principal of the school, my high school coach who I played for is still the head coach of the varsity team there now. So being able to coach alongside of him is awesome.
That's cool.
Seeing like old teachers and stuff, just the students at Bergen, like it's been a great environment so far. Like when I'm there, and then coaching has been going. It's been going great. Last year our JV team went undefeated.
Oh yeah.
I tried to my goal. I'm trying to like as I'm coaching, I'm like treating them like it's a Division I program. Like, all the great coaches that I've had, I'm like living up to that same intensity for them. And I'm trying to do the best I can as like treating it like a Division I program, even though it's quote unquote JV basketball. So yeah, we ended up going undefeated last year. The varsity team won states last year.
Awesome.
Now this year, knock on wood, JV's like 10-0 right now, 9-0, and then the varsity team is doing really, really well. So it's like we're right back at it.
I love that. Dude. I love that. It's funny. Obviously I have all these questions prepared before. I'll come up
Yeah,
with a couple on the spot, but I had that question for you before I knew all the craziness about your coaches. Before I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not. As I'm asking, I'm imagining you as a JV coach. Like you're gonna go run to a brick wall for 4
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wait, I can't hear you. Let me see if that works.
Like, oh, I'm sorry. Can you
Oh,
hear me
there we
now?
go. Yeah, there you go.
Then you go shoot for a couple more hours after that. Like you're gonna run to a brick for 4 hours, shooting drills for the next 3.
Yep.
Just imagine like that's good. That's a good. You have the experience for you. Is just
Yes.
kind of coming full circle, and I think that's really cool because you can tell your coach had a big impact on you.
Yeah, no, definitely that like you said, the experience that I've had as a player, and I've like been the guy on teams. I've sat the bench on teams. I've been on teams that overachieved. I've been on teams that underachieved. So I feel like my like variety of like situations that I've been in and been a part of, I have a great feel of like what each thing looks like. So I'm trying to make like be the coach of my team. I'm trying to make my team look a certain way, how they act and stuff. And it's been working out pretty well. But yes, my intensity on the sideline is borderline unmatched. Maybe a little too much.
I love that, man. I love that. So that's the main portion of the show. We'll do a quick little rapid fire. Hello. Oh, my light just went up crazy. Quick rapid fire is called in the bonus. So I mean, you're a pro being in the bonus and catching some quick free throws. So just a couple rapid fire questions. Who's your favorite basketball player of all time?
Favorite basketball player of all time? I think right now, I think it would be Steph Curry right now. It used to be Michael Jordan, and now just like watching what Steph Curry is doing, it kind of got moved on to Steph Curry.
I love that, man. I love that. He's been awesome this year. Okay. What's a better spot in Jersey City? McGinley Square Pub or the Astro Bar?
I would say McKinley.
Gotcha. And then toughest matchup you ever had in your career? It can be an open run or just in a game.
Toughest matchup? That's a good one. I would say it would be probably Scotty Lewis in high school.
That's a good. I didn't know you played in high school. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then who wins in a 1v1 to 11 between you and Daryl Banks?
Me and Daryl Banks. Yeah. We've done that a bunch of times, but I don't know. We go back and forth.
And then who's a better coach, Shaheen Holloway or Doug Edert?
I knew this was going to be one of them. Definitely Coach Shaw. He has more experience right now, and he's been doing a phenomenal job at a much higher level. But I'm on my way.
You're on your way. You'll get there one. Maybe you'll end up on a staff one day, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It means a lot. Like this has just been a really cool experience on my end. I mean, like I said, you've been, in that basketball cultural zeitgeist forever. I can't go a day on TikTok without seeing your face. It feels like, which is just the coolest thing. Now you're here. You're doing. I know you're doing a TikTok, trying to get more active playing basketball. So I'm gonna put a link to that in the description. Anything else you want to say before we're done?
No, I think this was a really good podcast. I think that it was the structure of it was really well put together, and I had a great time kind of interacting and talking about the story.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Y'all have a good one.
Absolutely.